Okay, there we go. I accidentally muted my mic. Okay, okay, you know what? Um, I don't even know what to say. I am like sweating bullets from trying to get here. I get home, I turn on my stuff right. It's everything set up. So I set it all up yesterday. So I should have just had to be able to come in here. No sound. Okay, how about now? Hopefully you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? I hope this is working because now it's showing this mic is on. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Sound? Somebody tell me. Oh, you can hear me now? Okay. Um anyway, as I was saying, this has been a nightmare. I was sweating bullets trying to make sure that this happened because I came in and I log on and everything, right? No internet. Now as a backup, I have, I use like I have a hardwired thing to my computer for maximum speed, less buffering, all the stuff, right? Okay, we couldn't get no connection. So I get on tech support. I'm like, what the hell's happening? So finally, I had to dig around in the box, find this little dongle thing that I have. So I'm not even on my hardwire right now. I'm using Wi Fi. And it says it's an excellent connection. So I'm going to hope that, this lasts and that this works. So this is not how I normally do the show. Normally it's, plugged right into the computer and right into the modem. But today we're using Wi-Fi. Luckily, I have a booster thing that I installed in my home network, so it boosts the signal. So we should be okay. I hope you guys had a good 3-day holiday with celebrating Dr. King's birthday. I was up at my cousin's house and we recorded 3 videos for next month for February. And you guys have been really good about sending in ideas. I have so many topic ideas now. I don't even know which ones to do. And I have some guests that are that are lined up and stuff to be some really interesting things to kind of break it up. So it won't be all 100% serious. There'll be, a few things in there to kind of bring you guys off the cliff. And then I'm going to put you right back on the edge. But oh, thank you. Um, I'm telling you, what a day, what a day. So let us get started since we're running late. Let me, because I want to keep you guys here too long. Let's see, how many questions do we have today? Looks like 23 again. I guess that's my new number because it's been that for the last uh, time. Yeah, Robin, I'm telling you, the back of my sweatshirt is busy. Speaking of which, my sweatshirt, because Sue likes to always know what my sweatshirt says. This one says, always be yourself. Unless you can be a T Rex, then be a T Rex. And that's kind of an inside joke because I used to play this thing with my daughter. Every day she would run in the room and ask me what animal I was today. And I would always, say something crazy, and then I would jump up and act it out. And she just thought that was the best. We did that from the time she was 4 till she was about 7, and I started recycling animals I couldn't think of anymore. But one of them was a T-Rex, and then one time I said I was a woolly mammoth, and so we had to go and look that up. So this is like like a family joke. So in case unless you could be a T-Rex, always, ladies, be yourself. So that's my lesson for today. Let's go with what the fuck Tuesday. What you mean only 23? Look at her. Girl, don't make me beat you. All right, question number 1. Female 26 to 29 out of Los Angeles. I started dating a 32-year-old guy 2 months ago. I will say it's been nice and steady, and he's a really nice guy. But, okay, once they say but, it's a wrap. But he isn't someone that totally excites me. I feel like I could make a relationship work with him, but my desire for him isn't the strongest, but it has grown little by little over time. Anyway, this past week I went on vacation without him as this was planned before I met him. While on vacation, he and I messaged each other here and there. However, truth be told, I barely thought of him while I was gone, and I barely thought of messaging him. I just got back today and honestly barely have thought of him, and we have something set for this week. But now I'm feeling kind of meh, like there isn't this desire to see him. I feel that this is a huge sign and perhaps I should end this. Before vacation, I was on the fence about him. I told myself I wanted to see how I felt about him while on vacation, as space gives one the ability to miss someone and kind of get a good feeling of what they are feeling. Now that we had some space, I realized I didn't miss him all that much. What should I do about this? The number one mistake you made is you just met him and you are like trying to be a couple. I done told y'all you date 2 to 3 dudes at the same time. You would never be in a situation like this had you done what I told you. So you put all your eggs in one basket, and so now that you don't really feel them like that, now it's gonna be a drama situation because you're gonna have to like do an official breakup because you was all official and stuff in only 2 months. You don't become a couple with nobody in 2 months' time. Are you out your mind? You don't even know how to spell his middle name. And here you are talking about that's your boyfriend. Y'all be rushing stuff. I'm telling you. This is just ridiculous. What you do, my dear, is go and tell him, shit, just lie. Tell him you met somebody else while he was on vacation. Shit, that'd be the easiest thing. And just tell him, that you just met somebody, that he's really nice and that you like him, but you like this other guy more. And that's how you do that. But in the future, like I said, don't just, even if are only dating this one person at a time, don't you let him know that. You say, oh, I'm just dating around. I'm not trying to be committed right now. So they understand what time it is. And then they don't get their feelings too involved, and neither do you. Makes no sense. Is Sue here finally? Well, anyway, you know, this was a mistake, but that's what you do because she ain't feeling, dude. Lady boss, I'm telling you, I mean, really? She's like, I barely thought about him. I'm like, that? No. Okay, question number 2, female, 30 to 36 out of Cleveland, Ohio. I hope you're having a great new year. Thank you for all you do. Aw. Growing up, my father was a high functioning, gainfully employed alcoholic. Most nights he stayed out all hours of the night. My mom and I often wondered where he was. This caused me to have minor dash moderate behavioral problems as a child. My mother has used that against me my whole life, throwing up in my face things I did when I was a kid. She has conveniently forgotten things she did, like threatening to put me up for adoption. What? Saying she loved me but didn't like me when she was angry, reading my diary twice, patronizing me when I was sexually harassed at work, blaming me for inconveniencing her when I moved back in to escape an abusive boyfriend, saying that I would never be a good psychologist because I didn't keep my room clean. And once she blamed me for her not having a better career. She has always dismissed my thoughts and feelings. Wow, your mama's a narc for real. She says she has been a wonderful parent, has never done anything wrong. I am now happily married, very successful, and I hardly talk to my parents. Smart move. Today, my mother subtly picked a fight with me. When she tried throwing things up in my face, I mentioned for the first time that my father was an alcoholic. What did you expect from me? She then dismissed me, saying that her father was an alcoholic too. She tried to minimize my dad's alcoholism by saying that he wasn't a quote raging drunk. Not sure what she considers raging, but I was spanked to where I couldn't sit down several times. I think she was surprised that I know he was an alcoholic since they tried to hide it. She had to get off the phone and said we could talk about it later. She told me to jot down my thoughts. She has never shown any interest in having a talk like this, and I am seriously wondering why now. Is it worth it? My mother has never shown an ability to look at anything that she's done in her treatment of me and say that she was wrong. In addition to the spankings, my dad has said and done several mean things to me as well. Should I have that talk with my mother? Should I just continue to see them on Christmas and have very minimal contact with them? What would you do, Auntie? Um, I'm gonna say this: since you know your mama better than me, but from what I'm hearing right here, she is not the one that's going to be able to handle you being honest with her about her behavior and about your dad's behavior and how it impacted you. She's going to get defensive. She's going to twist it around to somehow make it your fault. Now, this is when it becomes interesting because now you're an adult and you can process these things better than you ever could as a child. So what you could do is always bring her back. Bring them back. because they want to get off on these tangents saying, well, what about you? This and that. No, but we're not talking about me right now. We're talking about you and your behavior towards me as a child and your drunk ass husband. That's what we're talking about. Let's stick to the topic. If you don't want to stick to the topic, then this conversation is over. Now, you said you wanted to talk about this. I'm willing to do it, but we're going to talk about this. And that's all we're going to talk about. You see what I mean? So you take charge of the conversation. Now, this is my caveat. If you do not feel that you can handle that by any stretch of your imagination, because you've been staying away from them, sometimes that's best just to, just shut it off and just wipe the slate clean and going about your business. Sometimes that is the best way. But if you really want to try to put this behind you, because some people need that magical thing called closure, then do it. But I'm telling you, be prepared for what's gonna come out of her mouth, because she's doing all this, but I would kind of consider this to be a setup. She's trying to see what ammo she can get out of you to use against you. So you got to really weigh do your cost benefit analysis. What is it going to cost you to have this conversation, and is it going to be beneficial to you in the long run? I'm on the fence because I'm not getting that you're that strong enough to deal with it. You did speak up this one time, which was very good as a step in the right direction. But you got to realize in a whole conversation, especially since she's had time to set herself up for it, and you just getting the news now. You see what I mean? You just getting this news that this is gonna happen. She been plotting this for who knows how long. So she ready. And you just now got the invite. So I think you need to really consider this. Like I said, do your cost benefit analysis and figure out if it's gonna be worth it for you to go down this road. If not, just tell her, no, I had no interest in having that stupid conversation. You stupid, your drunk ass husband is stupid, and I'm done with both of you. I'll see you on Christmas. And that's it. Question number 3, female 18 to 21 from Paris, France. She says, hi, Miss Deborah, I am 21. Yesterday, I broke up with my older boyfriend. Our only problem is that he can't afford me right now and complains about giving me money on a monthly basis. Here's my issue. We were supposed to move in together on Tuesday. Oh, I guess that's tonight. This was planned since December, and in the meantime, for the holidays, we were both on separate vacations with our families, but everything was great between us. My issue is that nowhere else I can go immediately. I'm alone in this city and this country, and renting in Paris is a nightmare, especially when you don't have a steady job. I just started my own business and I have 6,000 somethings, whatever, saved for emergencies. All my money went recent investments in my country. The fast solution would be to rent in a smaller city and pay 3 to 6 months in advance, but I don't want to put all my money into it since my business is running slow because of the French strikes. And I'd like to at least double it, and this will take 2 to 3 months. So in the meantime, I will have to live with him again. He said he doesn't want me out of his life and we could live as, quote, friends. He will sleep on the couch and me in the bedroom. But I know him, and he's going to try to have eggplant or just talk about his feelings for me. I do like him, and I like myself more, and I can already see how uncomfortable I would be when it will happen. He might even try to get back with me, but I just want to be single right now. Okay, you want too fucking much. First of all, okay, if you don't have no place else to go, and you want to be trying to say you can just have to move back in with him, well then this is gonna cost you something to do that. Okay, let's be realistic here. Either you're gonna pay money or you're gonna pay ass. You're gonna pay one of the ways. There's nothing in this world that's free. There's no free rides. Okay, now you 21 years old, you ought to know that by now. So you gonna move up in that man's house, expect that man to feed and clothe you, put a roof over your head, and you ain't gonna give him nothing? Where they do that at? So you gonna either unask some money or you gonna unask some ass, but you're gonna be unasking something. So if you stay there with him, so that just get over that fantasy. Number 2, you don't have a steady job. Well, maybe you should get one. Maybe you should run your business part-time until you get your money straight and find a place to live that isn't with him. Because you cannot be trying to put yourself in a position where you're gonna be using somebody to be comfortable and stuff and run your business and do all the stuff that you want to do for yourself. That's great. That's wonderful that you like yourself more. But it costs to be the boss. And right now you don't want to spend your money, or you just think somebody's supposed to be taking care of you. That's it, Cat. I'm telling you. That's it. Cat put it in the chat. It's gonna be one of those. So that's just a reality check. So, most women just give up some ass because it's like no big deal. And sometimes, they have a good time, and so it works out all right for everybody. But the other option is you could rent a room with somebody in some family's house or with some other single girl and share the rent. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody who would be happy to have a roommate somewhere in Paris, in that whole big city. Um, and then that way you could, have your cake and eat it too. You could be single and live on your own and do all these things you're trying to do. But I'm telling you, don't be thinking that you're going to be using somebody and that you're not gonna have to pay nothing and that it's just gonna be all free and easy and all convenient for you. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. And you need to just get over that. So just decide what you wanna do. He ain't gonna be sleeping. Why should he sleep on the couch for months at a time? You and I both know that shit ain't gonna be happening. I'm telling you. I mean, that's what happens. It has value. Coochie has value. So you can trade it for some rent. Or you can just move out and do what you want to do. All right. I'm just being real. You know what I mean? I mean, people be like, "Oh, that's terrible." What you want from me? That's what we do here. I'm just a reality check person. I don't sugarcoat shit. I ain't Willy Wonka. Question number 4. Female 18 to 26 out of Santa Clara. Me and my boyfriend had a huge fight. And during the fight, things got a bit ugly. And I said that my boyfriend's ex was dumb. And this infuriated him. Oh, this says 18 to 21. That's a typo. And this infuriated him so much that he broke up over it. Wow. After 10 days or so, I reached out to him and apologized profusely about my remarks, but according to him, I crossed a line, and hence we cannot get back together. His cold response and reluctance to listen to whatever I had to say hurt me a lot, and hence the conversation ended. Girl, if you use hence one more time. It has been 20 days to our conversation, and he hasn't reached out to me, but I miss him a lot, and I want to get back together. I just don't know what to do. Please suggest something to help me get my man back. Girl, you don't need him back. What you don't understand, see, this is what's horrible about being young and dumb. You don't know nothing. You talking about his ex and he went into a tizzy fit and broke up with you because you said words about some bitch from his past? And you don't understand what that means? Talking about get your man back. He's not your man. He's her man. That's where his heart is. Read between the lines. No man who is through with a woman, he would care what you said about her. He would probably laugh with you and add some more to it. Instead, he got so angry, he broke up with you. That tells you all you need to know. Excuse me. Yeah, she just wearing me out. Hence this and hence that. Yeah, he likes her still. So let this go. Just delete his number from your phone and move on. All right. Me and my boyfriend, he's cold response, and we cannot get back together. Hence. Question number 5. Male, 37 to 45, out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Wow, he put all the names up in here. I have a platonic friend I've known for years that recently got out of a relationship with her long term boyfriend. At that time, I thought my SO was completely cool with this friendship, but now she has essentially requested that I stop initiating any contact with my friend. I love my SO. She is my life partner, so my relationship with her trumps all others. But I'm really struggling with not being able to reach out to my friend. My SO knows my friend, and she was always okay with her, but my SO started acting a bit distant lately, and it finally came out that she was uncomfortable with my relationship with her now that she is single. My friend texted me late last night, followed up with a voicemail, and after I didn't respond, she responded to one of my posts on Facebook with what I could tell was kind of a passive aggressive message indicating she wondered what was going on with me. I finally got, quote, permission from my SO to respond to her via text, but the conversation had to be short and I had to kind of cut it off. I know I could probably just shoot my friend a text or give her a call without my SO knowing, but that doesn't feel right. On the other hand, I don't see what the problem is with me talking to my friend on the phone or via text a couple of times a week. We rarely get together, and every time we have been is for coffee, lunch, or something totally innocuous. Anyway, it has really sucked this past week because I've actually had quite a few things I want to share with my friend regarding a common passion we share. Deb, I am 40. My friend is 38 and my SO is 36, so we are too old for this. Though I do understand my SO's concern, I guess the flip side of what's bugging me is that at the end of the day, she really doesn't trust that I can control myself if for some reason my friend throws herself at me, which is never going to happen. Well, what you have, sir, is someone who is very insecure. What she's stupid and she don't understand this. Whether you friends with a woman or not, work with a woman, see a woman on the bus, the train, the plane, walking up and down the street, in the grocery store, at the laundromat, at the dry cleaners, at the barbershop. No matter where you go, there's going to be women. And if you want to fuck around, you have plenty of opportunity. It doesn't have to be this one person. And that's what amazes me about women, how they fixate on one person, like that one woman is a threat to their relationship. And I'm thinking this, it's so funny because we had this conversation. I had a similar conversation with a girl today and with my cousin over the weekend about people, the cheating. And both she and this other woman were talking about how they would go for the woman because she knew that he was married and she knew, all this stuff. I'm like, well, didn't he know before she did? He knows more about it than she does. Plus, you don't know what he told her. You're assuming. But just let's say she did know. What's that got to do with anything? What's that got to do with anything? That has to do with your low self esteem and your lack of trust in yourself, and you feeling like some man, unless he's in your face, is going to cheat. Now, if you have that kind of man, then that's on you. Get rid of him. I mean, you know what I mean? Get rid of him. But my thing is, I wouldn't care if like 280,000 women laid out on the street butt naked with their legs gapped open. If he really didn't want to cheat, he wouldn't cheat. If his relationship with you is more important than that momentary, drama there, he wouldn't do it. So if you have a man that you're that concerned about and worried about and insecure about what choice he might make, that means you with the wrong motherfucker. That's what that means. That means you with some dusty bomb that doesn't is not a man of his word. And you want to go around fighting. My cousin was like, "Oh, I'll fight a bitch. I'll this and that." And this other girl, I'm like, "No, you don't do that. You do not ever demean yourself to fight a woman about a man. Don't you guys ever do that. If he wants to be over there, you pack his little stuff up and give him a sandwich so he won't get hungry on the way, and just send him out the door. Do not ever try to hurt another person about some dick. Let me tell you how that's gonna go. You gonna be in prison, right? Let's just say she's, it's like what you call it, assault with a deadly weapon. Worse yet, she dies, murder. Okay, it might be second degree, but it's still murder. Now you in jail for 30 years. Okay, and guess what he's gonna be doing while you locked up behind bars? Fucking everything that doesn't stop moving. That's what. So you went to prison fighting somebody about him and that dusty dick he got, and now he just putting it everywhere, doing everything because now you out the picture. He don't have to worry about nothing about you now. He is free to do whatever he wants to do with whoever he wants to do it with as many times as he pleases, and there's nothing you can say about it because you put yourself behind bars being stupid. Now, I just wanted to share that because there's so many women who, have that mindset. I'll fuck a bitch up. And I'm like, I'm not going to do nothing. I'm going to cross my legs and just tell him, well, get your stuff and go. So that, hurry, underlay. So that get there faster. Don't wait on me. Oh, yeah, they're going to be doing all that. So, I just want you guys to think about that because so many women, their perception is that they want to fight the woman because of what she knew, what she did, what she. No, this is about him. This is 100% about him. And you maintain your dignity at all times. Don't you ever sink down to that level of going to fight somebody over some dusty ass man. Yeah, I'm not even gonna kick him out. I'm gonna just be like, give him an invitation engraved and everything, written in calligraphy to leave. Please leave. Go. I'm just saying. So let's move on. So then so let's see, what is he? Followed up with a voicemail, this and that. Shooter's friend of mail, da, 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 da. Yeah, you got your girls insecure, and my thing is this. I guess I got off on my side tangent and forgot what I was supposed to be doing. Dude, my thing is this. Um, People are entitled to have friends, and it's like you had this friend before you even met this girlfriend. See, so if she don't have no right to be getting upset about nothing. Because if you wanted to smash with girlfriend, you had plenty of opportunity, and that's what I would remind her. If I wanted to smash her and she wanted to smash me, when we were both single, we was kicking it around. We had plenty of opportunity to do that, and you know what? We didn't do it because we're not attracted to each other like that. We're just friends. But I'm going to tell you this, if you keep acting stupid and trying to control me and tell me what I can and can't do and trying to monitor my behavior like I'm a 10-year-old child, then we're going to have a problem. And it's not going to end well for you. That's what I would tell her. That's how I am with men. Don't be trying to tell me shit. I know most of my friends are dudes. And so it's like, that's just my lifestyle. Now, if I wanted to screw them, I could have done that many, many times over the 20, 30 years I've known them. But that wasn't my interest. So, and I control that. So you either trust me or you don't. I don't know what else to say. I don't. Okay, so let's move on. Question number 6, female 21 to 26 from Toledo. So I get the whole no contact rule is to basically forget someone and keep moving on with your life. What if it was with the guy you had slept with and had no exclusivity to? Well, let me just read all her 900 questions. What if it was never defined what you were, but walking down that path, seeing where it goes? What if you had never felt so comfortable with that person, you didn't care where they were in their life because you were both at the same place? What if you did continue moving on with your life, had no hard feelings toward the person because you know they weren't really in a good place at the time, and they contacted you a few weeks later? I really don't want to be out of contact with this guy. He messaged me and I somehow lost the message. I blocked him, realized it was immature, and unblocked him. We messaged a little after that and just kind of stopped talking. I blew up over a misunderstanding and he backed off. I miss him. I want to see him again so bad. I don't know what happened. What happened is that you are young and silly. Yeah, no, Lort is right. I'm sucking on a cough drop. I can feel my throat getting scratchy because, it's too much emotion. All my stress of trying to get on the line, my throat got tight. Um, the no contact rule applies in any situation where someone is in your life and they don't need to be anymore. Okay, why would you stay in contact with them? What's the point of that? See, that's mixing the past with the present, the past with the future. I don't advocate that. If you got some trash, leave it trash in yesterday. You don't bring it into today. And you don't really want to be out of contact with him. What is he bringing into your life that you want to be in contact with him so bad? I think you just lonely and need something to do, like get a second job or go back to school or something. And you didn't care where they were at their life. Mm-mm. You must always care. God, why is my throat like this? Yeah, she's very immature. What did she say? 21 to 26. She's very immature. So just leave him alone. Get yourself together. Question number 7, female 37 to 45 out of Los Angeles. After a few toxic relationships, I finally came to the realization that the issue was with me. I've dedicated the last few years of my life to really focusing on myself and getting to the core of my issues through therapy, etc. With that being said, through personal work and being in a healthy state of mind, I finally attracted a partner who I believe to be my equal. However, he is 15 years my senior, divorced, and has 2 children. We've been together for 3 years and I haven't self-sabotaged this relationship despite it all. A younger me might not have considered this type of relationship. We love each other very much. I love his children. I've finally gotten my parents around to accepting him and his kids as well. We are finally ready to take it to the next level. What should I consider when it comes to marriage and possible children in the future? And although I'm confident in our relationship, I've waited a long time to get married and have kids, so I want to be smart about this and go into this with the eyes wide open. I understand that nothing is guaranteed in life, but I appreciate any advice or foresight you might have to share. Girl, this is a lot for an advice letter, but um, he's 15 years older than you, and you're 37 to 45. So what does that mean? He's in his early 50s or something. He's got two children. You know, that's kind of old for him to be having uh, some little infants. And you don't say how old his children are. I think I would start. I'm going to recommend that you start because you don't say that you've discussed this with him. So I'm going to suggest that you sit down with him and ask him what he sees, um, the future is here. Tell him that you want to have a child or two of your own and see how he feels about that because he might tell you, I'm not interested. I already got two kids and I'm too old to be doing starting all over. Be prepared to hear that. You also have to consider the fact that um, he, he's got the mother has custody, right? So if something happens to the mother, those kids are going to come and live with him, which means that you would become an instant stepmother of those children, plus to his two children, plus whatever children that you have. So all you guys be living under one roof. You also have to consider the fact that even if the kids are over there, once you marry him, if you're in a community property state, which is, yeah, oh, you in California, oh, yeah, honey, you about to get your ass tapped. Once you guys get married, your income becomes community property. So depending upon how much money you make, the baby mama can take him back to court for increased child support, and you would be on the hook to pay some of that. And please don't let him quit his job or anything like that or lose his job because guess who's going to be paying all the child support? It's going to be you. That's how it works in California. Now, this I can say with confidence because I know the family court laws here. Now, if you had been in some other state, I might be guessing. But oh no, I know what's going on here in California because that's where I live. So if I were you, I would give that some serious thought. But it's going to start with him and asking what his goals are and if he really feels confident at his age to start all over raising children with you. I have my doubts because you in the 37 to 45 age group, and he's even if he's 15 years older than you and you're 37, that means he's 52, right? Nah, he ain't trying to do that, girlfriend. This relationship's about to come to an end if that's your goal. Question number 8. Male 30 to 36 in New Jersey. I just started dating an old friend of mine from high school about 6 months ago. Oh my God, this letter's long as hell. She was the first girl I ever kissed. She married a high school friend of mine. They had a life for 15 years together and they have 3 children. She divorced him 2 years ago. He's now living with his new woman. Me and his ex met up about 6 months ago just to say hello. And that turned into the beginning of us starting to date. Hmm. Her ex, an old friend from high school who I see maybe once or twice a year, it was very unhappy with all this. Even though he's in a new relationship with a new woman, he was unhappy with the girl and was upset with me. I did not want to hear, he didn't want to hear about me and our relationship. I really love this girl though, and things are going really well. She wanted me to meet the kids after 6 months, but I felt too much pressure. My career goals might also tell me need to travel in the future, and this will clash with the fact that she's grounded in the city we live in with the kids, and she wants a stable partner. I feel pressure about that, but I also feel pressure about my old high school friend not being happy with us dating. And also about how all my other friends perceive me dating her. We ended up breaking up because I just wasn't ready to meet the kids, and I was worried about how taking this on would affect my career goals. But really, all she was asking me to do was meet the kids. I also didn't want to end a relationship with her kids. And her ex is so angry with me and not happy about it. I guess I'm just confused. Damn, I love this girl, but I don't know if all this is too much. The girl has a girl with 3 kids and an ex, an old friend who's not happy with us dating. Is all of this too much? Should I just let it go and move on? Am I crazy? Hmm. Well, I'm going to say this. You know how I talk about how men never forget their first love? She obviously is yours. And so there's no way you're going to escape this. The fact that she has 3 kids, I don't know if I were to do that would be a bit much for me. I could probably deal with one, but I don't know about 3. I think I'd have to pass just on that alone. Now, as far as you dealing with the friend, that's a non issue. You're a grown ass man. What are you doing? You don't worry about what some other man thinks about you dating his ex, nor do you worry about what other people think about who you date. See, this mentality that you have indicates that you are just too easily influenced by other people, which means that you're stupid. And so, a man cannot stand on his own if he's always worried about what other people think about what he's doing. You're only going to go as far as they let you go. And then you're going to fall back because you need their approval, their buy in. That means you're weak, sir. I hate to tell you this, but you need to understand where I'm coming from. If you was really about something and you was really a man, you wouldn't give a shit what anybody said. You'd be like, fuck you, motherfuckers. This is what I want. This is what I'm doing. And you can kiss my ass. And then they would shut up. But that's not what you said. Instead, you sit there and tremble and shake and worry about that. And then you make a decision based on those fears. So, really, the best thing you could do is go on about your dusty little life and leave this woman and her three kids alone because they need a man. They need somebody who's strong and determined and focused, and not somebody who's going to be, influenced like a teenager by what other people think. So the best thing that you all did was break up, and I don't know what you call love, but it's bullshit. She don't need that kind of love. She needs somebody who's gonna be in her corner and fight with her. You can't. You first sign of stress, you folded up like a bad poker hand. Get out of here, sir. You wrote to the wrong person with this simple bullshit right here. That's not working at all. I'm really disgusted with you right now. Question number 9, female, 21 to 26. What does it mean when a guy says he wants to hear, quote, positive things only? Whenever I talk about my opinions, my ex used to shut down, get mad, label me as negative, and try to switch the topic, focusing more on me being negative and arguing that was a real problem rather than focusing on my arguments. It's not the first time I noticed that men have a superficial understanding of life, but the be positive seems to be another extreme of that. Well, because it's the same reason they go up and down the street telling women to smile. They're not trying to deal with who you are as a real person. The fact that you have pains and, because even if a woman has menstrual cramps, oh, you're just exaggerating. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. All you women do is just, try to play us for sympathy because, it's not that bad. So, they try to tell you what you can feel. They try to tell you what you feel. They try to tell you what you think. They know more about your body than you do. They know more about what you feel in your heart than you do. They know more about your mind than you do. That's the nonsense that they be spewing. So you said he was your ex. That's a good thing. Yes, men do that, but that be positive because they don't really want to be bothered with anything. They want to live a life where you are there to meet their needs, always smiling like a Stepford wife, serving them, giving them what they want with a smile. Never doubting them, never questioning them, never nagging them, never reminding them of anything, never making any demands at all. And when you start talking about stuff that's a problem, then he feels like he's going to be called on to help you solve it. And he doesn't want to do that. So he wants you to just be happy all the time so that he doesn't have to do anything at all. That's what you have there. So don't worry about him. He's your ex. Be happy. Question number 10, female, 26 to 29, out of London. My boyfriend and I have been together for a relatively short amount of time, 4 months, but our relationship has progressed well and I care about him a lot. We've even planned a short trip together to visit his family in his hometown in the future months. He's very supportive, affectionate, a great listener, and usually has no problem communicating what's on his mind. Well, a couple of weeks ago, he let me know that he lost his full-time job for refusing to sign a long-term non-compete agreement. Hmm. He let me know that he has a good amount of savings and he should be fine for a while. He has mentioned before wanting to get into another line of work, and I joked about this being a blessing in disguise. I let him know that I was there for him and that he could talk to me about anything if he wanted to vent. Over the past few weeks, he's definitely been more distant and moody while mourning the loss of his job and looking for a new one, which I totally understand. At times, he's snappy and a bit grumpy, but always catches himself and apologizes. We're still intimate, but not as much as he's been rather quiet when we go out and hang out at each other's place. I've been trying to give him the space he needs because I probably feel the same way, but that doesn't stop my own personal anxiety from thinking I'm doing slash saying something wrong. He still seems very excited for me to meet his family and keeps turning the focus to planning that trip instead of talking about his feelings. Deb, do you or any of the crew have advice about how I should approach this situation, or if there's something I can say or do to help him? Let me tell you something right now, Miss 26 to 29 in London. You don't help men do shit. I don't know how many times I've told you this. If he needs your help, he will ask for it. You always want to be volunteering and mothering these grown ass men and fretting around about them like mother hens. Leave him alone. Don't even mention the situation. You told him that you'll be there if he needs you, and you can talk about anything if he wants to vent. That's it. That's all you say. You don't bring it up no more. You don't ask him, well, how's it doing? Is there anything I can do? What, tell me. What's going on? Listen, leave it alone. Don't even talk about it. Talk about other stuff. He don't want to be reminded that he's jobless and running through his savings. And y'all be thinking that there's some kind of conversation that somebody want to have because you're worried about it. He's not trying to hear all that. He doesn't want to have to deal with his feelings and yours too. And that's what you guys don't understand. Is he's distracting him from looking for his job and focusing on what he's trying to do, get his mind right and stuff, because now he's got to divert his attention to worry about your feelings about him being unemployed. Stop it. You don't need to write to me about how to help a man. You don't help a man do shit. That's the number one motto. That's all you need to ever think about. You don't help him. If he asks you to help, like, King Babe, can you type a resume, help me do my resume and redesign it or something, proofread it for me, pick up my suit from the dry cleaners for me, while I do run this errand for my mom or something. I mean, something like that, you can do that. Sure, babe, no problem. I'll bring it over right after work. But as far as you fretting over him and worrying about what he's doing, and if he wants to be still be, the man's worried. Of course he's not. Even his energy is diverted from his nether regions to his head while he's trying to figure this out. I don't know. Y'all see, you making this too much about you. It's not about you at all. You just keep doing what you're doing and leave him alone. Don't you nag him about it. Don't ask him no questions. Don't do nothing. Just leave him alone. And he don't want to talk about his feelings. What feelings? What do you want? I want to know how it feels to be broken, unemployed. Can you share that with me? Why do you think he would want to talk about that? You sound stupid. Question number 11. This is stupid. Well, we're not talking, we don't do questions in the chat. We do questions on What the Fuck Tuesday. These questions right here. These are the questions I answer. Anybody have a question, please go to the top of the YouTube channel. You will see that button that's green that says Get Advice. Click it, fill out the form, and then I will put your question on the show. But unless I'm doing an advice show, I don't answer questions like this. Okay, question number 11. I'm writing, she's 26 to 29 age. I'm writing because I don't know what to do with myself. I have self-confidence issues and I'm fat, she says. And I'm not like, oh, you aren't even fat. I'm like 370 US pounds on the scale fat. She's out of the UK. That's why she said that. I have random spouts of confidence and also spouts of non-confidence. I am a mess. And somehow I still manage to find a boyfriend. So me being the anxious woman I am, asked him if he honestly thought I was pretty while we were both drunk, and he told me no. He said that he really likes everything about me, but is not attracted to me physically. This is where it gets complicated. He does everything for me. He likes to be around me. He thinks I'm fun to be with. Here's a direct quote from a convo we had. I just wanted to let you know I feel really lucky to have found you, he said. This kind of stuff is rough on me. It makes me really down and question myself. I like to be with you because of who you are. I know you're self-conscious about your appearance, so I try to focus on other things and help you feel better about yourself. I am his first girlfriend. He has only a few friends. I feel like normally I can tell when someone is being a F-boy. So I'm like at a standstill. Like I keep thinking in my head, even though he says these sweet things, he's not attracted to me, etc. Damn, I need help. How do I stop? Is this relationship worth it? Do I stick it out and try to lose weight for him? I wanted to lose weight before I dated him too. It's just another reason to. I know you used to be a personal trainer, so I thought if anyone could help, it would be you. I just wanted some input. Oh boy. Let me tell you a secret about men folk. A lot of them like big women, but they're embarrassed about it. You know why they're embarrassed? Because of like the dude that we just did the letter for. They are too worried about what other people are going to think and say. They're little bitch boys. So, you got a grown man worried about what some other man says about his woman. I'm sorry, I cannot respect you as a man. There's something wrong with you. Okay, you're a little boy. And you want mommy's approval and daddy's approval and your friend Ricky's approval and your friend John's approval and your teacher's approval and the traffic guard's approval and the paper boy's approval. You just want all these people to approve of you. And so you're too afraid to go on your own and strike out and pick the woman that makes you happy, no matter what they say. Just like maybe they don't like meatloaf, but you do. Okay. They like apple pie. You think that's disgusting. I mean, people have different things that they like, but you have to be courageous enough to admit what you like and stand up for what you like. Now, in this case, young lady, I don't know how tall you are, but at any weight, 370 pounds is that's just too much. That's the horrible weight on your ankles and joints, your knees, your hips, and your back. That's not good for you. Okay, you're young now and you may not really feel any of the consequences, but 15, 20, 30 years of carrying that kind of weight around, you're going to be wearing out your joints prematurely. You're going to have health problems. So I would do something about that if I were you. Next month, during February, one of the shows that I have booked, one of the guests, is going to be talking about how to lose weight without being on a diet and the emotional connection between overeating and being overweight and like childhood abuses and things like that that young women are dealing with, which causes them to overeat. I forgot what day I scheduled her for, but that might be a show that you want to make sure that you catch. Okay, so I really can't say too much about that right now. I'm trying to keep everything as a surprise, but she is coming, and it should be a very interesting discussion for you to get some tips about how to start getting control of your eating. Oh my God, why am I coughing so much? Well, she's young right now, Ken, so she may not. But I've seen, the long term effects of it. And the same thing with people being too skinny that, diet away. I mean, they lose all their muscles. They have, like, their body starts cannibalizing itself in their joints and the tendons and stuff in their fingers get gnarled and stuff like that. It's horrible. So being at either opposite end of the spectrum, them anorexics and stuff, um, opposite either end of the spectrum is you're killing yourself. You're damaging your body. So it's not just overweight. People like to pick on overweight people all the time, but the skinny ones doing the same shit, but lack of nutrition, their bodies are eating themselves. You know. No, we're not telling nobody to fast. You can't make generalizations like that, and you not knowing anybody's health condition. Don't do that. You don't know anything about this woman's health, and you telling her to starve herself. No, vetoed. Question number 11. Lux is some I don't know, some wine I got from somewhere, but I probably need some Hennessy. Okay, let's move on to question number 11. Um, oh no, I'm sorry. That was question number 11. I'm sorry. I picked that up to look at her age and forgot to put it back down. Okay, question number 12. Female, 37 to 45. She's out of Australia. I am 40. My sister is 52. This past November, my father passed away. He was 87. My sister's married to an alcoholic slash drug addict for 20 years. Every single day for the past several years, she would call to tell me how he disappeared again, how they're on their last dollar, how he lied with crazy stories, etc. I live across the country and after a while could only tell her to get a divorce. Never once did my sister offer to help my dad go see him, etc. She was way too caught up in trying to catch her husband in lies every single day, all day and night. My father was wise and knew this man. He decided not to leave my sister anything. The guy went through my sister's money, his dad's money, his boss, the neighbors, everyone. I was left to split the inheritance with his girlfriend of 20 years who largely took care of him. My sister shows up to help arrange a funeral and immediately starts with, "Where are the assets? Where's the will?" Very angrily. Before that, when I told her that dad died on the phone, she said, "Well, this might be good timing as we're getting evicted at the end of the month for not paying the mortgage for 3 months," which really enraged me. When she read the will and saw she was cut out of it, she said she would not attend the funeral. She was swearing and yelling. Then she showed up at the funeral in front of my 8-year-old son, says, "You're an alcoholic. You're divorced. Your wife cheated on you." Then says, "Me and my 15-year-old son will not help carry the casket." The reality is I don't even drink, and everything she says are lies, even in front of my son. Now, recently, she called my dad's girlfriend to tell her, "You know, my husband works every day and is a great man. It is dad's son who's an alcoholic." She is blaming me for being cut out of the will. My dad's girlfriend called to tell me this, which still enrages me. Should I write my sister an email or text to lay it all out for her, just forget her and move on? Is that really my sister? Is that who she became from being married to an alcoholic for 20 years? Child, your sister is drinking something or smoking something or something's going on with her too. She's cray cray. If I were you, I would change my number and then I would forget that I knew her. That's what I would do. Because, the dad, I mean, just think of how she treated your father. She's all caught up in her drama of this man who spends everybody's money, getting evicted, all kind of stuff. She's on the sick path, and she needs to hit all the way to the bottom, go all the way to the bottom before she can rise up and change her life. So with you being there, to interfere and cushion the blow, which you're gonna want to do because it's your sister, she's gonna continue like this. So the best thing you could do is like my favorite thing, be like a Vegas card dealer, whoosh, whoosh, out. Okay, you don't have nothing in your hands, and nothing up your sleeves. You're gone, and that's the best thing that you could do for her. Let her figure it out on her own. But I would change my number because she would be blowing up my phone, calling me about nothing. Should you write an email or text it out? No, don't text. If you're gonna do something, just write her and write a letter. Put it in the mail with a stamp. Don't send an email. Just write it out and explain to her, why you're ending the contact between the two of you and that you wish her a lovely life and how disappointed you are in her and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Say everything you want to say, and then you can decide if you're going to mail it or not. Okay? That's a good thing about using a pen and paper. Question number 13, female 30 to 36 from Kingston, Ontario. My marriage is at the brink of divorce, and writing you for help is my last ditch effort to save it. Oh boy, I don't know if that's a smart thing to do because, I'll be like, leave that motherfucker. We've been married for 3 years and have a 3-year-old son. I thought seriously about leaving for a while, but the thought of our son not having his family intact is what stopped me. We dated for 2 years before we got married, and during that time, I saw very few red flags. But after we got married and got a mortgage, the relationship slowly and surely devolved into a parent-child relationship, with me being the parent and my husband being the child. He is always, and she puts bullet points, asking me for money, not contributing to the family financially, not doing housework, hiding debts from me, no transparency with what he does, losing things, can't organize his own life. I am always looking after our son 90% of the time, doing 90% of the housework, take on most of the financial responsibilities, including mortgage and bills, have to organize his life for him, making sure he has lunch, things he needs, etc. This has gotten worse in the past 6 months. Oh my God. I don't need advice to tell me to leave. I already have my plan B in place. Okay, well, let me skip down here. My husband agreed to sell the house. He accepted this is the end of our marriage. Okay. But my last ditch effort is I'm going to stop enabling his behavior and see if it makes any difference for a few months. It won't. For example, today he asked for money to cigarettes and I said no, and he got mad and stormed off. In the past, I said yes most of the time out of fear of him getting angry at me, but I feel I've got nothing to lose now. So, can you give me some advice on how I can stop enabling his bad behavior? And any real life experience of being with a spouse in an enabling relationship? We don't have money to go to marriage counseling right now, so I need suggestions that don't include that option. Thanks, Deb. Just like you do, just say no. But my thing is this: you already known how this man is for all these years. Why do you think because you say no that he's magically going to change? That's what's called wishful thinking. He is what he is. He's a knucklehead. Okay, you married an idiot. At least you have enough sense to want to get out of it. But, be very careful too because he's going to want visitation with your young son. And with him being as irresponsible as he is, you better run interference on that, because he'll be taking your kid off something, and something happen to your kid that will be like permanent damage. And he's just so irresponsible and silly that this you I would really be thinking about that part more than I'd be thinking about trying to get him to change in some last ditch effort. He already told you and proved to you over and 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 over for years who and what he is. Stop it. Stop questioning it. Believe it. Get out. Put your plan B in motion and move on. But protect your son from him because he's stupid. Question 14, female, 26 to 29 from Winnipeg. Oh my God, look at all these people from Canada today. Winnipeg, Manitoba. My ex and I stopped talking for a month. We both wanted different things. I was looking for something serious, and he wanted to still talk to other people. Okay, well then, was he? That must have been not really been your ex then. I was left confused after finding out he was still on dating apps, even though we had settled on being exclusive with one another. This is why I ended things. After a month of no talking, he decided to hit me up and wanted to meet up for dinner. We had a good night, but after dinner, he asked wanting to come over. After he said that, it left me wondering to whether he just hit me up for a booty call. I turned him down and said no. The next day, he texted and asked if I would like to come over to his place. How should I even respond to that? Is his motive to wanting to come back just for booty? Is the best response no response? God, you're dumb. Of course he wants booty. You think he just gave up because he couldn't come over to your house? So now he invites you to his. Same agenda, different location. Okay, you don't get that. You putting all this on it. He just wants to get his dick wet. Okay, that's all this is. This is not anything fancy, it's not rocket science. He didn't talk to you for a whole month and suddenly all this activity's happening. Don't you think it took him that long to realize, wait a minute, I haven't had no trim. Who can I get some from if I run a little game on somebody? I don't know. Yeah, see the dating apps thing again, the swipey things. Mm-mm-mm. I just don't understand the swipey things. But the main thing is, okay, you had a month of no talking, and he hit you up and wanted to meet up for dinner. Why could you not say no? Why did you go? What was it you were thinking was going to happen? Why not say no? I'm done with you, sir. We're through, sir. Lose my number, sir. Don't ever call me again, sir. Why couldn't you just say that? And then all this other stuff, hence all this other stuff, wouldn't have happened because you would have been removed from the situation, and he could have been over there running that tire game on somebody else. What were you thinking? What were you doing? What were you hoping for? And you're talking about him wanting to come back. He ain't trying to come back to you. He would have said all that. He just wants to get some booty. You tripping. Question number 15, male, 21 to 26, out of London. How much is out of sight, out of mind a part of a successful relationship? Meaning, should a couple be truly 100% honest with each other at all times? No, never. Is there anything you won't tell your significant other? The list is miles long. Here's my example. I've been in a long-term relationship and we are truly in love with each other. And we're pretty much true to each other as well. Are you now? However, I do find instances when I've caught my girlfriend not being 100% transparent with me. For example, she has a problem with snacking and eating excessive cookies. She's always been in great shape, six-pack abs, toned body, etc. However, she sometimes overindulges and has gotten to the point of getting 10 kilograms heavier. Since then, she's gotten right back into shape and has asked for my help whenever I see her overindulging. So we keep our house cookie free. However, I have been able to catch some supermarket receipts where she buys secretly cookies and stashes them in her gym bag. This used to get me really pissed off because she's trying to hide things from me. I've confronted her on that, and she says she's ashamed to admit that sometimes she slips up. There are other small examples of this, and I stopped confronting her about it. But nevertheless, it really makes me sad because I feel I'm not getting 100% of the real her, just 95%. Should I just get used to this? What's your input? Motherfucker, you ain't married to this woman. You don't have the right to even get 90%. You should be happy with 50. See, y'all kill me with this girlfriend stuff, and you want somebody to treat you like you their husband. She don't owe you shit. Whatever you're getting right now, be happy that you're getting it. Okay, now she's good because trying to hide cookies. I would eat them right in the bed. right next to you, crunching and munching, just having myself a good old time. And tell you if you don't like it, then get the fuck out. That's what I would say. You're not gonna tell me nothing about what I eat. Who made died and made you the cookie sheriff of the world? See, these dudes be doing too much. You, sir, are just out of your envelope, all kinds of out. That you need to put yourself back in it. You ain't nobody's husband. Okay? So she don't have to tell you nothing. Whatever she is telling you, be happy that's what you got. Okay? You haven't made that kind of commitment to her. So she should not be telling you everything. Even when you are married, you still don't tell them everything because they can't handle it. And you heard that from me. You don't do that. They can't handle the full truth. They like to live in a world where it's always shiny and sunny. You let them do that as much as possible. But, this is ridiculous. We keep our house cookie free like you the cookie sergeant of the world. Oh my God. Girl, this little poor little thing, she just looking for his approval so bad. I'm just saying. He wouldn't want to have me as his girlfriend because I'd be like, fuck you. And I'd come back with 6 grocery bags full of cookies and sit down and have a cookie sampling party and invite all my friends and just put cookie crumbs everywhere and then tell him to vacuum them up since he got so much energy and time on his hand to be worried about what somebody be doing. Yeah, he does need to go sit down and be quiet, real quiet. Like, shut up. Don't say nothing. Don't even breathe too loud because you're getting on my nerves. Thank you, Kiana. This dude, he's worked my nerves. Okay, let's move on. Question number 16, female 37 to 45. My boyfriend has been living in my apartment for a year. We're both adults, and he has 3 sons from his previous relationship that are 15, 18, and 21. We both have jobs, and we split the rent and the bills 50-50. But my boyfriend sometimes doesn't have enough money to pay his part of the bills because he has more responsibilities than I do. He still gives money to his sons when they need it. That's not a responsibility, except, wait, what's the little one? 15, the kid. The other one's a grown man. As a result, he's behind with the bills and asks me to borrow money constantly. He's always paid me back, but the problem is that it's starting to become a habit for him to always ask me for money instead of being independent. He never has any savings. Right now, he owes me $1,800 that I let him borrow last year when he had an emergency. I've been waiting to get that money back for months, and he still asks me for more money, which I don't think is right. For example, he wants me to lend him money to pay for his phone service plan, in which his 3 sons are included. Why does he ask his sons to help him pay if he's struggling financially instead of asking me? They're the ones using the cell phone service and they're old enough to help. One of them is in college while the other one works. I think my boyfriend hasn't raised him to be financially independent. Another thing that bothers me is my boyfriend doesn't have his own car because he gave his car to one of his sons so he could drive around. So while his son is comfortable, my boyfriend is broke and doesn't have a car or money. I guess he's being a good father by making sacrifices, but because of this, he depends on me, not only financially, but I also let him borrow my car so he can get around. See, you all codependent on this nonsense. I don't mind if he uses it, but he gets too comfortable. He lets people inside my car without my permission, fills the car with stuff that belongs to him, making it look messy, and takes my car longer than he should. Sometimes he uses it while I'm at work and he picks me up late when I get off instead of being on time. I feel stupid waiting while everyone is gone by the end of the day when I have my own car. He cleans it and puts gas in it, but I don't think he should take it longer than usual when I'm the one who should be driving it. I told him that I've helped him enough and I no longer give him money. And he said, I'm so disappointed that you think that way. And he thinks I should continue helping him because I'm his girlfriend and he struggles. I think it's important for him to save money, get his own car, and stop spoiling his young adults. By the way, his sons also have their mother, but I think she expects my boyfriend to contribute more so he doesn't tell her anything and lets her get away with it. What are your thoughts about this? Am I right to stop giving him money? He needs to be independent more. Kick his dusty ass out. What's wrong with you? See, I'm telling you, the first time he asked me for something, I would have been like, "No, can I use your card? You had a card. What you do with it? That because you decided to give yours away. That doesn't create anything different for me. When I go to work, I'm driving my car. When I get ready to leave work, I'm driving my car. On the weekends, I'm driving my car. You're not driving my car. You can sit in the passenger seat like the scrub that you are. That's it. Hanging outside of the passenger side of his best friend's right, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. The scrub is got it. Okay, anyway, yes, flashback moment. Yeah, he's a scrub, and I couldn't be bothered. And he's picking you up late, disrespectful. He's putting other people in your car, disrespectful. Putting a bunch of junk in your car, Disrespectful. Taking it longer than he agreed to, disrespectful. Getting money from you instead of standing on his own feet, getting a second job or something, giving money to his sons and giving him everything while you suffer and try to fill in the gaps for that. Well, you got like four males that are using you, and you just sitting up here writing to me. Kick him out. Tell him that, just keep that $1,800 because he obviously needs it more than you do. Kick him out. So the second he's going to change the locks. Don't give him not a nary, another dime. Don't do shit for him. Don't quit him no cell phone plan. Don't do nothing. Yeah. Well, that kind of scrub would just like take the mud and dirt from one part of the floor and put it on the rest. So it's not like your floor gets clean. It just moves the dirt around. And that's what kind of scrub he is. Just a loser. And you see the dude you see he's a loser. Why did you not get rid of him? What are you doing? And you let him move into your house? And you gave him $1,800? He wouldn't have got a dime from out of me until he gave me my money back. Shit, I don't want to give a nigga 18 cents, let alone a 1,800. Well, she doesn't say his kids live with him, but I don't know who lives where, but everybody got to go. That's it. He needs to be independent and responsible. You trying to tell him what to do, and he's a grown ass man. Kick him out, change the locks, go on with your life. And maybe you might want to change the locks in your car too, because chances are he had a key made. Question number 17, female, 30 to 36 out of Brooklyn. I love your advice so much, she says. I have an issue that's not dating related, but I hope you can help. Over 12 years ago when I was in college for my first bachelor's, dang, how many you got? My roomie, M, had a boyfriend, L. M and L had a toxic, draining 2.5-year relationship. There's a lot of emotional abuse, manipulation, deception, and sometimes physical abuse on both sides. Being a roommate, I had a front row view to the ugliness, and they honestly brought out the worst in each other. It got so bad that when they finally broke up for good, our entire friend group cheered and threw a party. That's fucked up. L now hates M and cut all contact with her. For a while, even speaking positive of M would set him off. He's better now, but looks back on the relationship with M in general as a traumatic experience that he doesn't even slightly want to relive, and I respect that. M kept her distance, but holds none of the animosity towards him that he has for her. She got married and has children. I'm happy for her. But lately, I have been in a weird position. M always asks me about L. Now, keep in mind, M is the girl. That's the roomie. The boyfriend is L. So M, the woman, always asks about L, the dude, in roundabout ways when she talks to me. Remember now, M is married and has children. Okay? The way he left their relationship and blocked her on all forms of communication would signal to anyone that he hates her. Other friends have gently hinted that he wants less than nothing to do with her. But she keeps asking, it's not even a once or twice thing. She asks if he thinks or talks about her. She even asks if he's seeing anyone in front of her husband. Wow! I usually stonewall her and only say that he's fine. But she's pressing for info and is awkward and annoying. It's been 10 years since they broke up and she's still asking about him. I'm a hair away from telling her what he really thinks, but that would be a betrayal. What should I do? Stop being a fucking weenie. You tell her, look here, girlfriend, that motherfucker's not thinking nothing about you. He don't want to think about you, talk to you, smell your farts, nothing. He don't want nothing to do with you. And if you ask me again about him, I'm going to cuss you out. And you're going to become every kind of bitch and hoe that I could think of. Are you ready for that? Because that's where I'm going. I don't want you to ask me about some other man and you married with a husband and kids. That's trifling. That's nasty. And it makes you look like you're just a desperate, thirsty ass bitch. I don't want nothing to do with you when you act like that. So take this warning that I'm giving you right now. Don't you fix your lips to say shit to me about that man ever again. He ain't interested in you. That's why he blocked you. He don't want you to know nothing about him. So I'm not telling you. Don't ask me. But see, you haven't done that. And you want to talk about what he thinks. You're not going to talk about what he thinks. You're going to talk about what she does and the position it puts you in. Own the shit like a grown woman. Stop this. Oh, I'm going to tell what he said. I'm going to tell. That's some old pussy moves. Stop. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's childish and immature and silly. Grown women talk about the issues between themselves and other grown women. They don't go start talking about what somebody said and all this old hearsay nonsense. That's childish and silly. It makes you sound like you're still in high school. You tell her what it is, what your opinion about her behavior, and you stick to that. You make I statements. Okay, don't you be bringing up what he said, because what he said is irrelevant to this conversation. She talking to your ass, so you talk to her. Okay, I mean, this is just stupid. Yeah, Sherry, Cherry, you missed it, but we got 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We got 5 letters left. Woo! Unbelievable. I just cannot believe these people. And how old is this people? Hold on a second. Let me go back. 30 to 36. Mm-mm-mm. That is too old for this. Come on now. She's trifling. I don't know why her husband. Ooh, if I was him, ooh, I can't even imagine the cussing out that she would have got. Just disrespecting me like that. Question number 18. Female, 21 to 26 from Los Angeles. Hello, Deb. This New Year's, a female friend and I made plans. We began the night at a bar, then met up with her boyfriend at their family function. Then we all drove to another party his family was having. At this time in the night, the drinks were definitely flowing. My friend and her boyfriend ended up getting into it and excused themselves by stepping outside. When my friend returned, I could tell she was uneasy. When I asked her if she was okay, she said he cursed around and called her all kind of bees. I let her know I was ready to leave whenever she was. To my surprise, about 20 minutes later, he returned inside the party yelling at the two of us, cursing and charging at me as if he was going to hit me, so I reached for my taser. Good job. Before making contact with his black ass, immediately the men inside the party escorted him out. She left the party with him, leaving me at there to find my own way home. I was appalled, sad, and hurt until I realized my friend couldn't even stand up for herself, let alone me. I checked in on her the following day, and she was completely nonchalant in regard to what went on, and I haven't spoken to her since. She and I have been friends since high school, and up until that point of our friendship, she had never put me in a compromising position. She has reached out, and I have been extremely uncomfortable with what went down. Should I take this opportunity to improve my problem solving skills, as all relationships have hurdles, or just let things be? I understand that your spouse not only is a reflection of you, but can either have destructive or constructive effects on one's life, which is why I'm seeking out your opinion. Wait a minute. This is her boyfriend. He's not a spouse. You're using the wrong term. Spouse is married. Okay, this might be her significant other, but he does not deserve title of spouse because he ain't one. Okay? If you don't believe me, look in the dictionary. You'll find the definition implies marriage. They're not married. Should you take this opportunity to improve your problem solving skills? No, because you're not the one with the problem. What problem would you be solving here? That you the only problem I see is that you have an idiot for a friend. But you already know the answer to that. You've already solved that problem by cutting ties. I looked at your age again because I just talked about this a couple of days ago. Saturn's return, when women are like about 27, 28 years old, and how they change and they change, they go through this metamorphosis. And the people that they were friends with usually get left behind. That's where you are. This girl, you can be friends with her for a long time, but this is no. Something's wrong with her. She will get you killed. That dude charging at you like that. Luckily, you had a taser, so you would have dropped him. But I mean, what would make him think that that was appropriate behavior? And why would she then leave with him instead of getting in his ass about doing that to her friend? See what I mean? This is some dusty mess all the way around that will put you in a very dangerous situation. Leave her alone. She's crazy. And she don't care nothing about you. She's too worried about what's going on with that dude. And when you have a woman like that, see, she'll put you in some terrible situation where you could end up hurt or worse. Assaulted, and you know what kind I'm talking about, or dead. Leave her alone. Okay, there's nothing for you here. There's nothing here. She's reached out. Change your number. Block it. Don't just tell. Don't. You've been friends with somebody since high school. Well, you were 17 then. It's time to let that go. And yeah, she's not your spouse, nor is she his. So just let them both go. Question number 19, male, 37 to 45. I've been married for the last 10 years, and we have two beautiful boys, one age 5 and the other is 8 months. Ooh, baby. It has been an amazing journey until our second child arrived, and now our relationship is going downhill. My wife is spending most of the time looking at the kids looking after the kids, such as dropping off my 5-year-old and picking up and also looking after the baby. I'm usually working and looking after the household bills, chores, cooking, shopping, etc. I've noticed my wife most of the time gets tired, irritated, sometimes shouting at me and showing frustration of the kids towards me, which I try to cool and not respond loudly or harshly, which hurts me a lot. This has been going on for months, and now sometimes I feel just chatting with her casually, and suddenly she switches her mood, and we get into an argument. We try to talk to each other and discuss what we are not going to repeat this again, and yet she does it after a few days. Our physical relationship is also going downhill. She's never in the mood and never starts initiating anything. I always have to start. Now I feel like I'm desperate and embarrassed and stopped initiating, and it ended up a really lengthy time. The last time we got physical was at least 2 months ago. We have spoken about this. She always says she would try soon, but it never comes. I'm really not happy about my relationship and would love to get some spark in her life, but it's just getting boring. I have 2 kids which would like to have a good upbringing as they are the world to me. We have discussed this in detail, but still my wife simply blames everything on me, saying she's not happy and I don't treat her and she never understands my problem. She overturns all the issues I have mentioned and puts it on me. This way, we're just going around in circles. Can you please advise what I'm supposed to do and how I can make her understand that she overturns everything? My love seems to fade away, which I really don't want, as I am a one woman man. Sounds like your wife is having postpartum depression, sir. Um, because it coincides too much with the birth of the second child. That makes me really suspicious. She wasn't like that with the first one. But it sounds like, she might be a bit overwhelmed by the responsibility of 2 small children. A lot of women are. I mean, it sounds good in theory, but then the reality is that should be kicking your ass. And you be tired, and the kids are crazy, and they cry and scream all the time, and they always want something. And then here you are with some man, and he wants something too. And I tell you what drove me crazy about my daughter is, you're nursing them, and then you got to pick them up, you got to change them. You're touching them all the time, right? I just touching, touching, touching. Okay, one time I felt sorry for him. My husband reached for me and he tried to touch me. I bit his head off. I went ballistic on dude. And he was just standing there going like this because he didn't know what did I do. But I had to later, I had to calm down and tell him, I'm touched out. I'm touched out. I don't want nobody to touch me. I'm tired of she just grabbing you to grab. And you know how babies are. They just touch it, touch it, touch. They touch you, they patting on you. They just want you to pick them up. I mean, it was this constant stream of touching. My skin felt raw. I just wanted to just be by myself. So luckily he got it. He took her over to his mama's. And she stayed over there. Gave me a few hours by myself. And I was better. But, it sounds to me like that's what's going on with her, at least some of it. Um, and with that, there's resentment built up. She's upset about something, but it's like if she doesn't voice it, you're not a mind reader, you're never going to know. But, sitting around asking for some booty from a woman who's touched out and exhausted is probably not the best thing to do. What are you doing that's bringing her some joy? I mean, do you take the kids and tell her to go take a hot bath or something to just refresh herself? Do you take the kids and send her to the movies so she can just relax and go have lunch with her friends or something, get away from them little rugrats? I mean, sir, you got to look at this a little bit differently. And, it might not even be a bad idea for you guys to have a couple of sessions with a marriage counselor. Maybe there's something that she doesn't feel comfortable talking to you about. But I do suspect that yeah, I'm not selling mommyhood. I'm not doing that. I'm not. You better know what the fuck you doing before you sign that blank check. Because that's 20 years of your life down the drain if you decide you can't stand it. But that's what I would suggest, sir. Talk to her, ask her if she would like that. Say I want to watch the kids and stuff, or get a sitter or whatever, and then let's go out for dinner. Let's go for lunch. Let's go to a movie. Let's just have some time to ourselves and reconnect. You know, and just get away from the kids for a little while. That sounds like that's what she needs. You know why it's growing, Tracy? It's called sweat. It's sweat because my internet went out and I burst into a sweat. I don't know what's going on, but oof, that poor lady. I understand how she feels though. And then his love is fading away just because of that. Just because of a couple of months. See, you weak, you just a pussy. You not even rolling up your sleeves and fighting for your marriage. You whining like a big ass baby. My love is fading away. wouldn't give you none either because you get on my nerves. I'm just hearing about it. And that's getting on my nerves. You like him? I don't. I'm not feeling him at all. Question number 20. Male, 26 to 30 from San Fernando Valley. I've been with my girlfriend for about 6 years. I truly want to be with her, but I'm having a difficult time with that because of money issues. This is one of the examples of many. She is a seasonal worker and collects unemployment during the off season. I'm totally okay with that and can handle the overhead of the household. With that being said, I think it's reasonable for me to expect her to save and spend the money she does get wisely. For the past 6 months, I've told her that she should call her health insurance company to see if they would cover a doctor's visit that she has every month or help find a new doctor that they do cover. That's $125 that can be used for something else if we don't have to pay that. All it takes is a phone call to her insurance company, and she can't even do that. Hmm. Interesting. I tried to explain this to her, and she gets defensive despite telling me to communicate when something is bothering me. That's over $1,200 a year that's spent that she could be saving or using for something else. She said that she needs me to remind her. I told her that her reminders every month she has to pay that bill. I told her that she doesn't have to remind me to go to work or pay the bills to the house to keep a roof over her head. I do that for us. She doesn't seem to understand where I'm coming from. I can't see myself as a person who views money issues on the totally opposite, different and opposite end. At this point, I'm just ready to end it. Is that wrong or unreasonable to do that? Am I explaining it wrong? No, I mean, it seems rather petty, though, sir, to end your 6 month relationship over $125 a month, which, is coming out of her money that she gets, and you want her to save it and everything. But you said that you're covering all the bills, so whether she spends it or not, why is that a problem for you? I'm not understanding that. You putting too much demands on somebody else about what they do with their money. And it's a measly little paltry amount of $150. What'd you say? $125. $125. That ain't shit. So I'm thinking there's something else bothering you and you're focusing in on that. This might be like the what they call it the tip of the iceberg where there's some other issues, underlying issues here where she's wasting money or not listening to you. You don't feel heard, you feel disrespected in some way. You feel overburdened with responsibility while she just does whatever she want to do and be stupid and just leave stuff to you to do. But what you need to do is tell her this, say, "Look, either you call that doctor or I want you to move out. You're gonna have to move out because I'm seeing you're just too happy to waste money over something and put all this financial responsibility on me. That $125 could go towards these bills, pay the light bill and the cable bill or something instead of being wasted that way. I'm sure she would have a copayment even if her insurance did cover it. She'd still have a copayment of some amount, but it wouldn't be $125 worth of copayment. Maybe 25 or something, 15, 25, 10, whatever. Um, and just put it to her that way. So, I need us to be on the same page. I need us to be working together as a team. I need us to have the same vision as far as money, which is the number one reason why couples break up. Now, like I said again, I want to reiterate this. I'm talking about the principle. You talking about $125. That to me is peanuts, and I don't really understand. Unless you just barely making enough money to cover, and you're looking at that would be a great contribution to the household, it eases a little bit of burden off of you. Well, then I can understand. But that's not what you said. You said that you cover you pay the monthly bills to keep a roof overhead. You cover all those expenses. So I'm really not understanding why what this is about. I'm getting, but there's more to this than what you're talking about. This is just what you've chosen to focus on, but it's not really the issue. It sounds like it's her attitude that's really bothering you. But that's just what I'm reading, that's just the energy I'm getting from this. You can write and tell me if I'm wrong, but that would be the suggestion I have to tell her, how important this is to you and see if that motivates her to make that phone call. I don't understand why she did because I would be like, shoot, let me call these people. $125, I could go and buy me some new clothes or something. I think like that. So I don't know. Question number 21. We got 23 tonight, so we winding down to the end. This is a guy, 37 to 45. I have been dating this girl for 3 months. We are both 43. She is divorced and been out of another 6-year relationship about 6 months ago when he cheated on her. Sounded like it was an on and off thing for a while, and her friends didn't like him anyway. We really hit it off, and it did move very fast and hot, and we were just letting it all come natural. She and her friends slash coworkers have said they love us together, and I am their favorite and exactly the type of guy she needs. Yet we're very different. I have never been married. I travel. I have my freedom, and I'm a Southern guy, and she's from Chicago. So I was totally someone who she was very drawn to, and it was new and exciting for her. Well, the topic has popped up about what we want in each other's future as far as goals and such. My goal is to get married, and I am ready. But she has been back and forth, even if that is something she wants to. Again, since her divorce was a mess, she would even make subtle jokes about our life together. The honeymoon phase started to fade after that talk, and I spent time with her for about 6 days in a row at her place, and it became a little suffocating to her. She admitted it in her last relationship. They didn't see each other that often. Things became cold really fast and was confusing to her, and that felt heavy. Once we talked, she said that she thinks we have major differences, and she does not think and that she thinks we have major differences and she thinks that would be a bad thing long term. Well, now she states that she wants to slow down because it moved very fast and that she's confused and needs to figure out her feelings. What is in my mind is she just spooked and scared that she realized that she doesn't feel that I am a long term fit for her. Part of me feels when she says she's not sure if she wants to get married again, it's really not me. If a better fit come along in her mind, then maybe she would feel different. What should I do? You should back up like she asked you to. It's great. This is what I tell people. They be like, oh, you should date somebody for, 2 years and all this other stuff. When men are in their 40s and 50s, they know right away if you're somebody that they want to be with, and then they want to make it happen. They're trying to waste 10 or 15 years dating your ass. And you women who have men like that, if you want to get married, he's just wasting your time. This guy's ready, right? So look at him, 3 months. That's usually about how long it takes. That's how long it took for me to get my proposal. 3 months later, he was like, let's go get married. I said, no, 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 we're not going to do that. But that's what I'm saying. They know it really, really quickly if you're the one that they want to be with. In her case, though, she just got out of a she's divorced. Okay, so that's strike. And then she's been only 6 months ago out of another 6-year relationship. Do you really think she's over that relationship in only 6 months, sir? I mean, really? And you've been with her for three of them? So you talking about 3 months out from a 6-year relationship, she got with you. Of course, things went hot and fast, hot and heavy, because she was reeling emotionally from being alone. I mean, it's a major lifestyle change to go from being with somebody every day for 6 years to being by yourself. She probably was on you like a life preserver. But I'm gonna say this: it's great that you love, that you like her and that she's drawn to you, and all these old things start happening. But you have to understand that she needs time to heal. She hasn't had that time yet. Don't put this as any kind of indictment of you or major rejection or like, some kind of reflection of your worth and your value that you're not good enough and all the stuff. It's not that. It's that this woman is in pain, okay? She didn't give herself time to properly mourn the loss of her 6-year relationship. When you're in a long-term relationship and it ends, it's like a death. You have to grieve it. You have to go through that whole process just like you do if someone that you love died. So she didn't give herself time to do that in only 3 months. That's not enough. That's not enough time for 6 years with someone. So, just cool your jets. Don't get all, puffy with the face and all this old stuff. Just give her the space that she's asking you for. Let her reach out to you. And she's calls you and stuff, be responsive. If she wants to see you, you can see her. But, give her some space. Just give her some time and let her know that you're still interested and you want to respect her need for the space and to make out her decision that's in her own best interest and tell her that whatever she decides you're okay with it. Just let her know that so she doesn't feel pressured. And I know you're sad. I know you really like this woman. It's unfortunate that this happened. The timing just seems really bad, which is sad. You guys probably would have been really cute together. Oh well. All right, let's move on to letter number 22 of 23. 22 of 23. And yeah, that's kind of sad. Anyway, female 26 to 29, she's out of Baltimore. Recently, Ooh, her writing. Recently, I have been dating a guy whom has given me 7 months of awesome love, she says. We spent every weekend together, weeks sleepovers, and he would involve me on everything. We have taken week-long vacations on 4 occasions where we made plans for the future. Okay, what kind of work y'all do where you can keep taking weeks of vacation off and you only been together for 7 months? After our last Christmas and New Year holiday, we departed ways on the 5th of January 2020, and we were together since the 27th of December. After the holiday, he told me he needed space as he needed to figure out if he has a crush on me or if it's love. I feel like he's running from his own feelings. He don't want to accept that he is in love. We have agreed to take time off for him to figure out. Deep down, I feel he can't tell and he's afraid of getting hurt and embracing his true feelings for me. Please help. I don't know what to do because I love him. You do what he asks you, just like the dude before you. That's really interesting. One is from a male and one's from a female, but they having the same issues. Um, Give him the space that he's asking you for. I mean, he'll probably decide in your favor, but you know what? You be around him too much. The motherfucker don't even have time to miss you. You all up in his face all the damn time. You know, men love you best when they miss you. When they can build that up and then they go and seek you out. They're filled with desire to see you, to hear your voice, to touch you, to hug you, to kiss you, to rub your hair, just hear you laugh and see your smiling face. They want to be in your presence and absorb your energy. That's what you want. And you guys, you mess it up when you just be all too much. You too available. You too much in his face. He doesn't even get any time to fantasize about you and miss you and think about what you're doing and how funny you are. And he go through his little dream cycle in his head. You not giving him that space because you all up in his face all the damn time. We don't know what he's going to do, dear. Dear, stop being a fatalist. The dude is just asking for some space. It's been 7 months and they've been very close, it sounds like. But I'm thinking, dude, just needs some space. It's like, I can tell you this, like, my man, let me tell you about this story. And this really happened. We were dating, right? And he came over. Let's see, where was I working? Okay, I was working at some law firm or something at the time. So he picked me up in San Francisco. He drove across the San Francisco Bay Bridge because we both lived in Oakland at the time. So he drives across the Bay Bridge and he picks me up from work. And so then he comes over to my house. He had his little bag in the car. So he stayed Friday night. I forgot what we did, pizza and something. I don't know, just some basic shit. So then he was still there all day Saturday. He was there. Then Saturday night we went to see a friend of his and play, and then we went out to dinner. And then on Sunday he was still there. And he's sitting on the couch in his boxer shorts and stuff with a beer, honey, legs crossed at the ankles. He just having himself a good old time watching the game. And I'm just looking at him like, nigga, go home. You, why are you still here? I could feel myself, this feeling just welling up inside of me. He was just taking up too much space in my house. And it's like, I want you to, oh, I was pacing. I was pacing like lions. You know how lions do? I'm a Leo. I'm pacing, I'm pacing, I'm pacing. He's like, why you keep walking? Where are you going? Why you keep walking? I said, because I want you to leave. And I just blurted it out. I will never forget that look on his face. I felt bad as soon as I said it, but it was the truth. But he looked so hurt. Ooh, I felt like such a witch. And he so he got his little stuff and everything, and he left. And I was feeling really like, ugh, oh, I feel embarrassed and guilty now just thinking about it. But in that moment, I just wanted him to go. I wanted to breathe all the air in the house by myself. I didn't want him to be there. And so the second he left, I felt such relief. I was like, ah, I couldn't help it. So, having personally experienced that, where you start feeling like it's just too much, that is what this guy is feeling. Okay, and you don't recognize it. You have to give people space to miss you. So after, a few days, he didn't come around. He barely called me because he was all in his feelings and everything. So I came down off of my cliff and I called him up and he was all happy to hear from me and we picked up where we left off. But I had to just let him know, you can spend like one night over here. I don't want you to be here the whole weekend. I have stuff I need to do. I want to see my friends. I want to like clean my house, do my nails and stuff, do my hair. I don't need you to see all of that. I want you to go home. Of course, later, he did see everything, but you know what I mean? That was years later. We're talking about, when we first started dating. And I didn't, yeah, I needed my space. And so I totally get where he's coming from. Anyway, to make a long story short, give him some space, back up, let him miss you. Stop being so damn available. Stop being all up in his grill all the time. Okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Robin, girl, I will never forget that. Ooh, I could just feel it. I just felt like I wanted to scream. And he's just as sweet, so cute, just sitting there, just enjoying being with his woman at her house, watching football, just drinking his little beer, just chilling. But just the fact that he was sitting there, I just irked me for some reason. I just, I didn't want him sitting there looking comfortable. It just pissed me off. I don't even know what to say. I'm just terrible. But yeah, he learned a lot about me that day. But that's what's going on here, young lady. Give him some space, all right? And now here we go. Question number 23, the final question of the day. This is from a young woman out of London, 21 to 26 age group. And she says, how would you be secure and feel confident when your boyfriend voices out when a celebrity actress or TV personality looks pretty? Because my boyfriend is exactly like this. I don't know if he says it to make me feel insecure or jealous, or if because he truly means it without any harm or intentions whatsoever. The other day, we were watching a TV show from his country, and this girl happens to be an actress from my country. So he was saying how beautiful she is, and that from the rest, she happens for him to be the prettiest one. But then he said that she had an empty brain because of a topic they were discussing. Then we were watching a TV show where they play games and male celebrities and females compete against each other. So was this actress slash model who he happened to mention in the past stating how beautiful she is. So he said the same thing now. The point is that if he sees 5 women in a day on TV and thinks they are wow gorgeous, he would just say it out loud in front of me. Example, oh yeah, this actress is very beautiful. Is this all right? Would you not feel like your self esteem goes down or even makes you feel insecure? Do you find it disrespectful, especially for being a good man with principles, etc., etc., etc.? Or am I the problem? No, he's the problem. He's most likely doing it because he wants to get a rise out of you. But see, again, this is when Deb will go to the closet and pull out her flamethrower. It's all right for you to do, then watch me amp this shit up and blow your hair back. So he's gonna be looking, you watching them Bollywood movies, right? Them Indian dudes be fine as hell, especially what's his name, Hithrik Roshan. That motherfucker is fine. Okay, I would watch all his movies, and so you watch for some nice looking guy to come on. There's this other one I can't remember his name. He's got curly, kind of wavy hair. He's cute too, and I'd be like, ooh, look at the muscles. Oh, you should work out so you look like that. Why don't you look like that? Look at his six pack. Ooh, look at those muscles in his back. Ooh, them guns is shooting. These guns is working. You know what I mean? I would wear him out. So every time there was some dude who looked good, I would be comment. It's like if it's good for you, then it must be something that we doing, right? Because you the man, you want to be the leader. You want to set the pace. You want to set the tone. You want to establish the rules under which this relationship is operating. So we're going to do that, sir. And every time I see a fine looking dude, I'm going to talk about him. And what really buns their, what am I trying to say? Puts a bee in their bonnet is if the man is some other race other than him. You're like, ooh. I never knew that those Asian guys and Chinese guys could be so cute. But look at him. And then I remember about Bruce Lee. Yeah, he was small, but he had a really nice body. It must be those martial arts. That really does make your body look really firm and cut. Maybe you should start doing martial arts. Stuff like that. Just wear his ass out. Don't let him try to make you feel anything other than vindictive, which is my favorite feeling to feel. I'm going to feel vindictive and then I'm going to wear you out. I'm going to make you cry, uncle, and I'm going to make you very sorry that you were saying those things to me. I would never tell him not to do it. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is up the ante. So you do it 5 times in a day, I'm going to do it 50. Every time, everything out my mouth is going to be about how fine some motherfucker is. how handsome he is. Look at his hair. Look at his body. Look at his wallet. Look how fat, fine he is. He's taller than you. Look at his car. He's this and that. I would put the smash on his ego so hard he would not want to ever say anything to me about another woman ever again. That's how you have to do men. You have to fight fire with fire. You don't beg them. You don't complain to them. You don't whine to them. You don't say, I want you to stop doing it. You don't say anything. You pull out your flamethrower and you get to roasting a motherfucker. That's what you do. Okay, y'all be all quiet and don't. I don't want to hurt his feelings. You're supposed to hurt his feelings. You're supposed to hurt his feelings 5 times as bad as he hurts yours. So it makes a great impression. He understands what's happening. Y'all be too gentle. I love flamethrowers. They're wonderful tools to have in your arsenal. So y'all don't be polite to them. You're gonna talk about someone. I'm gonna look at you. I'm gonna be like, you shouldn't have said that. I mean, it's not like it even really bothers me. You know what I mean? But I know that they're doing it because they want it to bother you. And so I'm not going to give them the pleasure of letting it know it bothers me, even like I said, even though for me it doesn't. But I'm still going to play him because I can and I want to hurt his feelings because he tried to hurt mine. Even though he wasn't successful, that was his goal. That's why he said it. You see what I'm saying? You was trying me. And so now I'm going to finish the job and show you how it's done. Because you're obviously a rank amateur. I have a PhD in that shit. And so I'm going to hurt your feelings and roast you and make you want to never leave a look at another woman. Or if you do, you're not going to tell me. And that's how we're going to do this. Okay? So that ends What the Fuck Tuesday for today. We got off to a late start because of the fact that I had like no internet connection. And this did pretty well, right? This is on Wi-Fi. So my Wi-Fi booster thing that I put in is really working well. So I guess, I don't know if they're going to fix my other one or not, but I guess I still could get on the internet. We'll just do this. And like I said, if you guys are not already a subscriber to the Debsterism channel, please hit that subscription button because of the fact that we got Video a Day Debuary right around the corner. And there's going to be 29 different shows with all different topics, all different guests, all kinds of stuff going on every single day for the month of February. I don't want you to miss any of it. So make sure you sign up as a subscriber and hit that instant notification bell so that you know what's coming on, okay? And you can be a part of it because the guests will only be on for like an hour. When I do my shows, it's usually like an hour and a half or something. But you can't be asking people to sit on your show for no 2 hours. That's just rude. So they'll be on for hours, so you can't be late. So you need to become a subscriber, all right? This is Deborah Cooper of survivingdating.com, and here on the Debsterism channel, we got the Dusty News Network and What the Fuck Tuesday, along with a bunch of other live streams. We got great audience. Thanks for all your support, everyone. Thank you for sitting around waiting for me to show up today. I appreciate it. And we'll see you real soon. Probably, I guess Friday, huh? For the DNN. See y'all then. Bye-bye.